Fellas,
Hey!
we're together.
Look at this. It is you, Uncle Mark, in this country.
In the flesh, in the studio.
I like the Magi. I have come to your manger with the gift of the coronavirus.
The How to Heretic has no designated survivor this week.
That's right. The Uncle Pro Tem has joined you in the Capitol building.
Yeah.
And if something happens to us, I don't know the order of succession, I guess. It goes to Cody.
Yeah, exactly.
So good luck. Good job, Cody. Enjoy. What a week. What a show.
Yeah.
Doug, you brought a friend.
I brought a friend of ours from down south, below here in Salt Lake, Vern.
Yeah.
From the Utah Valley University Secular Student Alliance to talk to us about the good works they're doing.
Yeah, and to give us a really nice primer on, we have a lot of people write into us asking, just saying, I'd like to hear more stories about, it's hard leaving religion, and that journey is not easy, and sometimes you need some community.
You need some help.
And it's happening even in the reddest of the red parts of
the red estate.
Of the red estate.
Yeah. So that's a very positive message. And then Dan, you have a fun.
I'll just give us a little cleanse, and then we'll just have not a juice cleanse. But
why not?
We'll just. But it could be.
Why not?
All is possible.
You can put anything up your butt.
If you're brave enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's the motto of the show.
Yeah. I'll cast a spell. You'll be able to do it. It's
and boy, I'm going to bring the room down.
Yeah.
So
crashing down like a fucking meteor.
We'd love to do a comedy show about cults, and I'm going to talk about a country doctor, let's call him.
You're going to forget the comedy part. What you're going to do.
Not a lot of comedy in this one, but this is kind of the corner we work.
You
said
it's probably the most fucked up thing we've ever talked about.
Most fucked up thing I think we've ever talked about, and maybe ever will.
So trigger warning.
It's a real trigger warning.
Like the trigger warning is legit.
Yeah,
there is
real
extreme violence and sadism.
If you're sensitive to that sort of thing, you will want to end the show early.
All the things that could trigger people are in this story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So everything.
So just be aware. And that's Mark's thing right at the end after the patron thing. So
and I will give you if it gets worse and worse and worse, and I will give you warnings throughout of when to stop.
Yeah.
If you've had enough, and it's your fault if you don't do it. So,
absolutely.
There you go.
A reminder that the Heretique shop is up and we are selling.
Woo!
Merch is moving.
We're starting to get pictures of listeners in
You
their
beautiful fuckers out there.
in the gear. So
Yeah, be proud.
apparently it's real. Apparently it works.
We're here. We're skeptical.
Get used to it.
Yeah. Be nice.
Right.
And that's going on. And then, of course, we're doing our patron-only content for you wonderful people that can throw a few shekels at us.
Yep.
So if you want to hear us fumble our way through any stupid thing, or your very real-life problems and you want to hear us laugh about it, you can send us that at howtoheretic.com. Send us an email. Tell us you're a patron. Whatever subject, we'll give it a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let's do a show, fellas.
Let's do a show.
Uncle Dan.
Hey, how are you?
Activism.
Oh, it's one of my favorite isms.
Well, I'm agin it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think people should do it. I don't think people should benefit from it.
well, I think we can talk you out of it.
Really?
I think you will be a believer in either Mormonism, Galvanism, or activism. One of the three.
What's Gallagherism?
What's galvanism? Is that
It's
galvanizing metal?
I feel like it's originally it's the reanimation of human flesh through electronics, through electricity.
Wow. Is that true?
It's something to do with that. Anyway, we're off track. Doug, save us.
Okay. Well, uncles, it was last year, I believe it was, on our way to the American Atheist that we bumped into a young man at the Salt Lake Airport. You and I did, right?
You have to be more specific.
No, it was me.
Right?
Yeah.
No, not the one in the bathroom.
This one wasn't. Uncle
that's
Mark
right.
wasn't
It was
there.
you and me. That's right.
Although I am not a Republican elected official, I do spend a lot of time in airport bathrooms.
And you have a white stance.
Yeah.
I sure do.
And since that time, this young man we've come to know, and we have him here in the studio today for various reasons. I think...
Sounds sinister. I don't know why. The main reason is we want to talk to him. This is Vern.
Call the police.
Hello.
That's right.
Hello, Vern. Welcome.
Hello, Vern. Welcome.
Thank you.
Vern, did you see the weasel?
Oh, no. What
Yeah.
the hell?
He kind of snuck up on you there.
We have
right.
an in studio mascot weasel. That's true.
Yes.
If I ever come back, you just need to place like 15 more in the room. So I just look around, it's all weasels.
Right?
That's a lot of weasels. That would probably be foxes. That's a different...
Yeah, exactly.
If we haven't burned them.
Yes.
There you go.
But Vern can actually confirm all of the things we've said are in the studio, including the God hates Jews sign back here.
I was actually looking for it. The lamp blocked my view.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Anyway, so Doug, why have we brought Vern?
So, Vern is a fan of the show, and that's not the only reason he's here. Otherwise, we'd have like 3 or 4 different people here over the course of the show. But
Are we up to 4?
I think so. Today we're announcing. Vern's journey through the religious life and out, I think dovetails very nicely with what a lot of our listeners and ourselves have gone through. But that's not the only reason we have you here today. Vern has taken on the mantle in a very conservative part of the country, perhaps the most conservative, of activism for the secular movement. And that, I think, is the reason you're here today to talk to us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So why don't we kind of start where we're going to end and talk about this activism and what your involvement in it is. And
This
what
is going to be a short interview if we start with it. It's fine. It's fine. Just go on.
It's like my sex life. So...
What, there's no middle?
Look at him. There's plenty of middle.
That's the...
Oh, zing.
Zing. The chair's not helping. Vern, why don't you tell us about what you're doing in this conservative part of the country and your involvement in it?
Yeah, so I'm involved in the Secular Student Alliance chapter at UVU.
UVU being Utah Valley University.
Correct. Yeah.
The sort of bastard stepchild of Brigham Young University. No, it's not. It's its own, very own thing.
Yeah, but it is very short, second only to maybe Amish country. This is the most conservative part of the United States.
Right.
True.
Pretty much. I call it Mordor, not going to lie.
It is Mormondor. Yeah.
Mormondor.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Too easy. So you're down there. You're activizing.
Yeah. So essentially, we're growing community. So we do a bunch of different meetups and just trying to get people involved in trying to destigmatize atheism, agnosticism, all the good stuff. Because a lot of people don't even know what the hell those terms mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think people don't understand that. Like this. So this is in Utah County, in Utah, and Utah County is so Mormon. Like so, it's not just sort of like a mild, 50%, 51% or whatever. It is absolutely expected that everyone is Mormon there, and when you're not, they look at you funny. There's just a weirdness about this place.
Yeah.
It is so desperately Mormon, and they don't understand. They've never even, half of them have never even met someone who would claim to be an atheist.
Exactly.
Or an agnostic.
And part of that is that the people that are atheist, agnostic, or, Wiccan or anything else don't want to talk about it. Especially because everyone considers that, oh yeah, everyone I see is probably going to be Mormon. It leads to a lot of issues.
Right.
Yeah.
So we actually get asked a lot because we do tabling where people can come ask an atheist something. And we get asked a lot, why? Why are you even here?
Right.
Why do you even have this? And the answer is for people that were like me, that for years and years and years kept themselves secluded from everyone else because there was a part of them that they knew a lot of people wouldn't like and would probably just completely dissociate with you if they knew.
Right.
So when you say tabling, what exactly does that mean? Go into it.
Yeah, it's literally sticking at a table. We have a sign that...
On campus?
Yeah.
Okay.
So usually we're in the science building.
That's a smart place to be.
Yes, exactly.
That's about as safe a patch of ground as you're going to find at UVU.
Exactly. It gets a lot of foot travel, so it's a good place to get attention. But essentially, we do Ask an Atheist. We don't have anyone out in front of the table, like trying to bother people, because we see that a lot with different Christian groups on campus.
Sure.
We don't want to be preaching. That's the last thing we want to do.
Hey, have you heard the good word about there being nothing?
I love the idea of Christians in Utah County asking people if they've heard the good news about Jesus.
Right, yeah.
Like, what was the name? I didn't catch. Jesus? I've never heard of this person.
Well, and I for our listeners to throw out a table and expose yourself as an atheist or agnostic in Utah County, even at UVU, which is a much less perhaps dangerous place for that environment, for that personality than BYU.
Yes.
But it is an act of bravery.
And we're only talking about a few miles away from the BYU campus.
Only a couple
yeah.
miles.
It's literally in the same vicinity.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute drive at worst.
Yeah.
So what's that experience been like to plop yourself down and just open yourself up to that?
So in part, it's terrifying, especially because I'm closeted from my family. And I'm fine with this coming out here as well. So in the back of my mind, I always have that, oh man, I hope no one comes by that recognizes me or that knows me or that can speak and rat me out, essentially.
And Vern, is your nom de guerre, obviously. Yep. So you have you at your current place in your life, what you're doing, and again, we want to be shy and stay away from details. You can't expose what you are to your family right now.
Correct.
And why is that?
Well, I actually have an uncle that I have never met because he was immediately kicked out and no contact. As soon as he came out as atheist, he was gone.
Wow.
Zach,
So it has been proven to you, folks won't respond well.
Right. That's my example in my family of what would happen.
Well, we have a surprise for you.
Come here, kiddo.
Uncle Mark is actually your real father.
But Doug is not your uncle. That's a weird thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Bob is?
Yeah, Bob is your uncle. So, yeah, and it's the year is 2020. Yeah. You're a bright, educated young man at a university, and you still have to maintain some anonymity because family, this is a very, very common story, certainly in Mormon country and in other religious communities. You could have ended up on the street as a teenager.
Yeah.
Right?
We it's funny because a lot of people have come to us and asked, should I just come out? Shouldn't everybody just be out of the closet and blah, blah, blah? And it is such an individual choice.
Yeah.
And that you have to make sure that you know that you're going to be safe.
Yeah.
You, Vern, have told us that you are, that your current living situation involves family and you don't want to mess that up. Like there's a whole,
And
there
that
are
it would
so
be
many
messed up.
things
Yeah.
Yeah.
that are involved in this. It is not as easy as just saying, well, I'm just going to say who I am, and it'll be fine.
And there's no shame in it. There's if to protect yourself, whatever your situation. Yeah. There's no shame in it's frustrating as fuck. I'm sure you found it extremely frustrating.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
do. But this is the world we've been bequeathed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about how you kind of got to this place. So you, like many of us in the state, especially in Utah County, began your journey as a young Mormon.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yep. I had the same sad misfortune that you all did. But I have to say, I never was really drawn into it all. Ever. And that's not to say I didn't want it to.
Oh, yeah.
Because there is tremendous amount of pressure to just drink the damn Kool-Aid and go along with it all.
It was Flavor Aid, but yeah.
Not in my house.
Our sponsor Kool-Aid wants us to point that out.
Right.
Yeah, I remember very early on I'd come to my parents with questions, be like, well, this doesn't make sense. Like, how do you, if you're praying and you get a response, well, how do I know I've got a response? Very early on. Like
How early on?
4 or 5.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Because I was trying to pray, because I was hearing all these glorious things about God and how he can talk directly to you. And I was like, cool, I want to do that, and got nothing back. And I wish I could remember what my dad told me, but I remember walking away going, yeah, that didn't sound right. That's some bullshit right there.
That's not gelling.
You probably guess what he said. Okay, so you continue on growing, and you maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but you didn't go on a mission.
No.
And that is a phenomenon in the Mormon Church, especially in Utah County, that is becoming more and more common. Where I think for various reasons, the gravity of being forced on a mission. And is that the case with you? What kept you away from that?
By that time, because that's usually when you graduated high school. By that time, I was completely atheist.
Okay.
Hiding that, I was drinking coffee very openly.
Oh my God.
I know, which I am actually to this day shocked that my family doesn't care about it.
Did they find out?
Oh yeah, no, they
wow.
know. I have coffee with family. They do not care, and it's the biggest shock of my life.
That is akin to denying the divinity of Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
I don't think people, non-Mormon listeners, know the earthquake that just happened.
Yeah.
When you said that.
I think they're ready to hear that you're an atheist. They're so they got over the coffee thing.
You've primed them.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes. For years, and I'm serious, I've been slowly dropping just little things because
just a tiny bit of iocane powder into their coffee.
Smart.
I want them to come to that conclusion and reconcile with it so that when I'm finally out, it's not this big thunderclap and the world has changed.
Right.
They'll be like, oh, yeah, we knew that shit was coming for a while.
Same
now.
old Vern.
Right. Exactly.
So when did you know you were atheist?
Atheist was in the middle of high school. So I was deistic for a while.
Ah.
I kind of had this idea that, oh, well, I mean, this all-powerful God, but there's so many different churches, and they all have different ideas. Like,
So
how
you
am I
went
supposed
into
to
a
know?
grove and prayed. Which was the correct one?
Yep, exactly. And I
And
actually,
nobody answered the call.
I came to this even shittier Pascal's wager, which was if I try and really work on myself and be a good person, and then I die, and God says, "Ha! You didn't believe in my exact little interpretation that no one could figure out." That God's a dick.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if I make myself a better person to be kind for nothing?
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was my shitty Pascal's wager.
Gotcha. So that must have been pretty. I'm sorry, Dan.
Oh no. I was just going to say. So there you are. You're a student, and you're not believing in anything anymore. You finally get to college, and it seems like was there anything for you once you or even in high school when you looked around, you must not have seen a heck of a lot of resources available to you.
Not at all. But the thing is, I had no clue. Absolutely no clue. And so I actually think that my life completely changed last year. So Phil Ferguson, I'm assuming you guys know him. He has a podcast.
Yep.
So he raised funds to get students to the American Atheist Convention last year.
Oh.
And I was one of the students that got money, and I went for free.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that was Phil that did that.
That
'Cause
was-
I remember you telling me you were there on a scholarship, but I didn't know where the money came from.
Yeah, so it was from Phil.
Good for Phil.
So I walked in those doors, and it was heathen heaven. It was amazing. For the first time in my life, I felt community, and I was just amazed at it. It was incredible. And then I left, and I was on the plane going back, and I thought, man, what am I going back to? Like I had gained so much in a weekend, and I had lost so much going back. But I had also met the Secular Student Alliance while I was at the American Atheist Convention. There was a whole student mixer.
Nice.
And
They wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
invite us. It's weird.
Judges
well, I've heard
orders.
if you're on certain lists, you don't.
Yeah.
You're not invited. But I was on the plane thinking, no, like people like me that I didn't even know what community felt like. They deserve that too.
Nice.
They need that.
Yeah.
So on that summer, this last summer, I kind of struggled slowly coming out to close friends and coworkers who don't know who the hell my family is.
Yeah.
Trying to I needed 6 people in total, including myself, so 5 others to start a club at UVU. And during the entire summer, I got 4 other people. So I was looking for that one more for fall semester. The week before the semester started, I got in contact with someone who wanted to continue an atheist agnostic club on campus, which I was actually rather pissed. I had no idea that shit existed. Would have made my life so much better, so much earlier. But they had a small mailing list, and they had some people they already had as part of the club. So all of a sudden, I went from looking for that one more to start just a little ragtag band that most of them were people just going, hey, I'll support you. I probably won't show up. I'm not atheist, but I'll support you. To having people there.
Nice.
And we've, since we worked on that together, we have, my gosh, I think the mailing list went from 60 to almost 400 at this point.
What?
Holy cow.
Wow.
Of active students?
Yes.
Beautiful.
So we have a core of about 20 people who rotate and show up to things, and then other people who will come in and out because,
Yeah.
life is hectic and crazy for any given college student.
Of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
What was it like with the administration setting this up? Was it
Yeah, that we get some looks, we get some comments sometimes. We've had people mostly stop at table and they go, "Hey, I'm a teacher here, but why are you guys doing this? I don't get it." Just
yeah, well.
casual things like that. I don't think people realize because of how religiously dominated the area is.
right?
Yeah.
So tell us about these things you do with the SSA. You mentioned you got 20 or so rotating diehards.
Yes. And then we do coffee meetups every single week because, I don't know, it just makes me feel delightfully secular. Have a nice cup of coffee in my hand, especially in this area.
Do you do it on a Sunday just to be extra
Evil?
evil?
So yeah, what we do is we have a set coffee meetup that's every Sunday in the morning.
There you go.
Yep, our unholy communion. And then the other weeks we have it at a different place, location, and time so that if someone... Because, UVU is a commuter school. So if someone is all the way up in Salt Lake and they're traveling down, we want to make sure that they can eventually come to a meetup if they'd like to.
Right.
But we'll do philosophy nights, rated R movie nights. That's right. Rated R movie nights.
You guys, okay.
That's adorable. That's adorable.
Again, non-Mormon listeners may not quite understand the delight of that, but Mormons aren't supposed to watch. It's not like theologically forbidden or whatever, but yeah, Mormons don't do the...
I mean, if it was, I'd have a lot more trust in Joseph Smith if he was, far back going, no rated R movies, guys.
We know that I know that you guys don't know what these are yet, but eventually there will be movies, and then there will be ratings, and you can't go to the R ones.
Exactly.
But it's a stigma, like, if back in the day when people went to movie theaters, standing in line for an R-rated movie was a dangerous thing to do if you were an active Mormon. You could get seen. But nowadays, I mean, and for Mormons, the most mild R-rated rom-com that has the F word 3 times is the same as the Saw franchise.
Right.
Like it's the same. So I love getting people to watch these movies together and enjoy them. It's just wonderful. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and our first one was The Matrix, which I didn't even know that was rated R for the longest time.
What is that? Why would it be rated R?
I looked it up a while ago. I think it's
violence?
Violence and blood.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I know. I had no clue. No clue.
For alternative theology.
Yeah, exactly.
So for a lot of our club members, actually, who had never seen a rated R movie for those exact reasons, it was like, oh, this is kind of
They'd never seen one?
Yeah, they had never seen one.
College
so it
students. Really?
Really?
Oh my god!
So it was like exciting to watch The Matrix, obviously the most raunchy of rated R movies.
Right? I mean, it's probably good then that you didn't jump in with the
Exorcist. The Exorcist
For real.
Although, would anyone in a modern context care about The Exorcist? It freaked everybody out back in the 70s.
Have you seen it recently?
No.
It holds up.
Does it?
It absolutely does. It's still very, very scary.
Confession time. I've never seen that.
That's a good one for you to put it on the list.
You're a baby.
It's on the list.
You haven't had time to see it. Well, I think that was the one movie that the Mormon leadership actually came out and said don't see this movie. It's the only one they've ever done that.
Oh
for.
wow!
Yeah.
So that's
now I need to see.
Yeah,
this
it has to
movie.
be on the list.
God damn!
That's crazy when you think that they're the ones who released Saturday's Voyeur.
Right?
Sorry, Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior.
Twice.
Well, that's a deep dive in Utah.
Yeah.
Well, that
You just call that a happy accident.
Yeah, right. So that brings us to now. And what you have to talk to us about and the exciting news you bring.
Because when a club happens,
Yes.
so happens events.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So you got a couple to talk about.
Yeah.
When you sin, you invite the devil in.
Well,
And you have
sometimes
sinned.
quite literally.
I have sinned, and the devil is coming to Utah.
Yes. Well, a friend of the devil's.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Lucien Greaves, co-founder of the Satanic Temple, coming on April 17th.
Yeah, we talked about this last week.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we fucked it up a little bit, but we'll clean it up here. We'll clean it up here.
Yes.
So tell us, fix my fuck up.
All right. So he'll be speaking, as I said, on April 17th at 3 p.m. at the Reagan Theater at Utah Valley University.
Is it the Ronald Reagan Theater? Of course it is.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
Is there
even
another
better.
Reagan?
And he'll be doing about an hour, a bit over an hour of his own presentation. Yep. And then he'll be doing Q&A.
Knowing Lucien, though, it will not be stand-up. It will be...
He will be standing, but it won't be standing.
It will be very interesting and very thought-provoking. The man has a brilliant mind.
He'll be doing levitate up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Lucien actually came on the show way back in the early days, graciously, to help get the thing going. And
Is that why?
let's hope so.
Is that what he told you?
Which one of you
asshole.
sold your souls for that?
Yeah. But for those of you out there who don't know, their documentary, Hail Satan, that came out last year, is a phenomenal documentary. It's
it is.
really, really good. Not just because we're atheists and agnostics, and so were they, But to see what their mission is and what they do is it's a phenomenal
Yeah.
documentary.
Well, and
They're the good
fascinating.
guys.
And he co-founded the Satanic Temple, and the Satanic Temple has in this country been almost possibly the most effective anti-church state
Yeah.
or pro
Church-state
separation.
yeah.
Because they have a unique take on the fight.
Well,
Because they're a registered and recognized church, and so they fight fire with fire.
Right. Yeah.
I love it.
Every time someone says, "Hey, let's put the Ten Commandments up on the courthouse wall," they're like, "Cool. Can we put ours up
Yeah.
too?"
Lucien rolls up with his flatbed with their beautiful Baphomet statue on
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And everybody goes, "No," and then their hypocrisy.
Yeah, they're very very pro reproductive rights.
Yes.
they're very very anti child abuse. They're the good guys.
So,
And
so
actually-
every time somebody says, "Hey, you have to let us do X because of religious freedom," he jumps in and says, "Cool, I also have religious freedom.
Yeah.
I will do Y."
yeah,
And in many cases, they're like, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of times.
And not to just not to shamelessly plug ourselves, but Vern reached out very tangentially. I think you didn't ask for money, but you asked for money.
That sounds about right.
And the How to Heretic is sponsoring this visit from Lucien.
yes, we're helping
Yeah.
facilitate the devil going down to Georgia.
Yeah.
here, so we're very proud of that.
Can't think of a better cause.
Yeah, and one or more of us will be there.
Yeah.
Yes, probably at least two of us, but yes.
Yeah.
So you'll if you end up going to this event, those of you who are in Utah or willing to travel to Utah, I suppose you can you'll meet some uncles. You'll meet a crazy devil worshiper who doesn't believe in the devil.
That's
Yep.
right.
And
the good folks at the UVUSSA.
Yeah.
Yep,
And Vern,
that's
our
right.
friend here.
We'll be there.
Before we wrap up, you also mentioned that you might want to announce the David Warnock visit.
Yes. So we have Dave Warnock. He was also on this
Also,
show.
Yep, friend of
been
the
on
show.
Yep.
Yep.
Friend of the show.
But still, for anyone that doesn't know, he was a pastor for most of his life, became an atheist, and last year he was diagnosed with ALS.
Because he became an atheist.
Yes, of
he
course.
was. You mean he was smited by the Holy Lord?
Yeah.
And now he has a message about dying for people.
Yeah, and honestly, I kind of feel like it's a ruse of dying, but it's really he's talking about life.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he's a personal hero of mine, and I am thrilled to have him coming. So he's coming to UVU to speak as well on March 13th at 6 p.m., also in the Reagan Theater.
So that's
Nice.
coming right up just a couple weeks from now.
Yep, exactly.
We'll put all this in the show notes. That is not a ticketed event. Dave Warnock is not a ticketed event.
Correct.
Lucien is. If people,
Tickets are free,
Tickets
but
are free.
you got to get them.
Correct.
Where can they get them?
So I will give a link to you guys, so we
Yeah.
can put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, UVU's website is just a bitch to try and navigate.
right.
You hear that, UVU? Get your shit together.
Get your
Yeah,
shit
no,
together.
really.
You're on blast, UVU.
That's right. And also, Vern is
IT
now kicked
department.
out. Vern is no longer a student.
yeah.
Or someone named Vern has been kicked out.
Some poor fucker.
Well, it's such a great pleasure, Vern, for you to come here and talk to us. We were so happy to have you. Is there anything else, that you want to get on the record, or, we definitely want to give you a chance to say something.
Yeah, no, I actually really do. For anyone that's in Utah Valley, well, I'll back it up just a little bit. When I first wanted to do this Secular Student Alliance, I was looking for different atheist, agnostic, secular groups in the area, and there wasn't really one. So, there's post-Mormon millennials, so if you don't know about it now, they have coffee meetups as well. But we're one of the only atheist, agnostic groups in Utah Valley. So I don't care if you're a student, if you're not a student, if you go to BYU, we can be a family for you. We have people that have been kicked out of their families, that have lost their housing, same situation I'd be running into. And if you need support, if you need help, or if you just want some friends, connect with us.
I love it.
How do they find you? If they want to connect with you, is there a website or a? How do they find you?
Yeah, so I will also give you guys
Okay, great.
yeah.
Or just give us your home address and phone number. We'll
Yeah,
put
yeah,
that in the
perfect.
show
Let's
notes.
throw
They can
that
come
out
to your place. So.
Well, and you know the phrase that there are some people who would rather curse the darkness than light a candle. So it's so great to have you here, the kind of person who would light a candle and get this going down in a very dark place. So
Yeah.
and it proves that you can build community in places where you don't think you can.
Oh, yeah.
And you can do it when you're in the closet too.
Yep.
And I think that's a great message to send to all 4 people listening to the show right now.
Well, 3, because I was one of them.
Oh, right.
Well, you are listening. You're just doing it live.
Well, Vern, thank you so much for being here. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Right on, and
anytime.
good luck
Thanks
with
for
it all.
having me.
Good luck with it all.
Good luck, and we'll see you when Lucien gets here.
Hail Satan.
Perfect.
Godspeed.
Hail Satan.